if you want to win at life, if you don't want to be average, if you really want to be the man who is worthy of having it all, you got to understand one simple thing first. Either you realize that your mind is either your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. Okay, let me tell you something you already know. Most people hate being held accountable. But the truth is, if your life sucks, if you're broke, if you're lost, it's your fault. You know, the real world doesn't care about what excuses you may have. You are where you are because of how you think. That's the first key or the first phase that you got to understand. Once that happens, you automatically take control. You give yourself an opportunity. Most people, they like to blame everything else around them. It's obviously what's the easiest thing. But, you have a choice. You either program your mind for the strength and persistence the journey is going to take, or you allow it to trick you into choosing comfort over your purpose. And the truth is, most people choose comfort, and it's pretty easy to see. Now, like I said, it's easy to complain. It's easy to make excuses. It's really easy to stay in the house all day, not do anything. But it's not easy starting something from scratch, sticking to it, and finally winning, right? You see, most people get stuck in a rut for years doing the same thing, day in, day out, never really achieving anything, just surviving. So if you really want to master your mind, you really need to understand, first and foremost, it starts with a non-negotiable decision, right? The persistence and discipline are really everything. When you master that, you don't need motivation. You're gonna have momentum. And it starts with small wins, every single day, sticking to something because it's gonna lead you to your goal. And how you do one thing is really how you do everything. So start raising your standards in every action, every choice you make, because right now, at this point in your life, enemy number one is yourself, not society, not the system. The biggest enemy right now is you. So there's a weak version of you that really wants to quit, that wants to complain, instead of getting into action. Because at the end of the day, that's really what's going to turn the needle the most, is action. So if you let that version of you win every single time, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to accomplish anything. And same thing, you're just going to keep surviving. You're just going to get older and older. And the worst of all is you may come at a point in your life where you realize you could have been so much more. So in my 14, 15 years of being in the business world, I do know that the fortune favors the bold. So the ones who act even when the odds are against them, that's when you have to make the choice and make the action right there. Roll the dice. What do you have to lose anyway? You got to stop waiting for a miracle, my friend. So here's what you need to do to get your life in order and to get yourself on the right path is stop distractions, stop consuming the garbage, the junk food, stop consuming the bullshit social media that's just keeping you scrolling all day. Instead, create something for yourself, and go from there. Your mind and your thoughts are really the only thing you do have control over. So pick wisely on what you're letting in. And you don't have infinite time, guys. You really don't. Every second you waste, every moment you spend hesitating to pull the trigger, is time you're never gonna get back, okay? Like I said, until one day you're gonna wake up old, broke, and now worst of all, full of regret. So realizing you wasted a life waiting for the right moment, guess what? The right moment is now, is today. Stop lying to yourself, because in the gap between someday I'll do it and tomorrow I'll do it, that's where dreams die. Tomorrow never comes. Either you take control of your life today, or you're gonna stay trapped like you've been all these years. So don't hesitate. This is my message to you. Take the first step today. Not for the system, not for society. Just do it for yourself. For all the people counting on you, for your freedom. But let me warn you, it's not gonna be easy. There's gonna be days where you wanna quit, but those are the days you want to stick to it the most. That's just build more momentum in your favor. Okay, you gotta train yourself to crush that voice that wants to be weak every single time. Every time you sharpen your mind more and more, making the hard decision and sticking to it, you're just gonna build momentum in the right direction, and things are gonna get easier for you. So look in the mirror. That man right there staring back at you is really the only thing standing between your current life right now and the life you deserve. So what's it gonna be? It's really up to you. So being mediocre, an average life, regrets, or a life that you could be proud of, that you built from the ground up. So the choice is yours, but my suggestion is choose now, my friend, because time's already running out.